Hey, everybody, this is LaShonda, and I want to welcome you to the Connoisseurs Podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to enthusiasts of coffee, wine, cigars, and other premium spirits. And on this episode, we caught up with Nicole Phillips, one of Detroit's cigar divas. She is the owner of Mahogany Cigar Emporium and the Detroit Herf Society. We explore her journey with cigars, and we also delve into Detroit cigar culture. Hang around, you may even learn a few tips from some of the information she is sharing. So we hope you enjoy the podcast. Nicole, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I would love for you to tell the viewers and the listeners a little bit about yourself, how you actually became a cigar connoisseur, and how you're involved with cigars.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Phillips, and I started smoking cigars. Me and my girlfriend was just, hey, doing something different. She was like, hey, you want to go have a cigar? I'm like, sure. So I believe we went over to Stray Cats, and I had a Romeo Julieta 1875.
Ooh.
So that's how it started. I started smoking cigars, and then we went down to, it was a cigar bar called 1701 in downtown Detroit.
Okay. Was Stray Cats actually a cigar lounge, or they just allowed cigar smoking?
It was a cigar lounge.
Okay. Does it still exist?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's out on Garfield and like 18 Mile. Is that Shelby Township or Sterling Heights?
Okay. So that was your first cigar. Is that the cigar that made you fall in love with cigars, or was there a particular cigar that made you fall in love with cigars and want to learn more about the cigar culture and all that you have done thus far in cigars?
So what made me, so I started a mobile cigar concierge business in 2017. It's called Mahogany Cigar Emporium. And the reason why I started it was because the passion that I had for cigars. I say, since I'm business oriented, I was like, hey, let me turn my passion for cigars into a business.
Wonderful.
So one of my cigars that made me love cigars was, honestly, it was the Liga number 9.
Okay. And what was it about that cigar that made you fall in love with it?
It was the robustness of it. And then at that time, it was just the relaxation piece. I had just had my son.
Yeah.
I had my son in 2016, and it was just the relaxation of being, after being a full-time mom and full-time employee.
Mm-hmm.
I smoked that cigar. I was like, oh my God, this is what it, okay.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I enjoy about cigars. You have to take your time. Even the smallest stick takes you at least 25 minutes to smoke. So you literally have to slow down and enjoy the cigar. And it can allow you to engage in a great conversation. Or if you're by yourself, you can just kind of enjoy the cigar and reflect.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things that I really enjoy about cigars as well. So tell us a little bit more about Mahogany Cigar Emporium.
So Mahogany Cigar Emporium is a mobile cigar concierge business. It's where we bring the cigars to you. So if you wanted to have a girls' night or a football game or a birthday party,
I love it.
and you wanted to introduce some ladies to the cigar culture, you will call up Mahogany and say, hey, we would like to have you come out. So what we do is we teach you. I'm not just going to sell you cigars. I'm going to educate you on cigars and help you pick a cigar that's for your palate.
I love that. That's so important.
That's what Mahogany does.
And one of my first cigar one-on-one experiences was with Mahogany. And we walked through cigar one-on-one, the education, the lighting, the cutting. And I still enjoyed that experience. And from that experience, I learned a lot from it and still use some of those tips. So thank you for that. And I do have often when I'm out, when I'm popping up at different events, I have people ask me, they ask me if the connoisseurs sell cigars, and I tell them no, but I am connected with individuals that do, and they're often questions like, my husband's turning 40, and we'd love to have an experience of cigars and the education and the whole experience to them. So that is a lot of what I hear. So there is definitely a market
It is.
for that.
Absolutely.
And people enjoy that being in the comfort of their own home. So
Mhm.
that's definitely awesome. Now, I know you have a community of cigar enthusiasts called Detroit Herf Society. Can you tell us a little bit about the Detroit Herf Society?
Okay, so Detroit Herb Society started in 2018, and I wanted to grab the masses. I was already an admin of a cigar group called the Cigar Society of Detroit, CSOD. I was an admin on that, and I said, hey, I want my own group, and I wanted to do things different. So Detroit Herb Society / DHS, I had a mission where we educate, give back to the community, and to entertain. I love entertaining. As you see, we're here in my basement. We call this Mahogany Lounge. So this is where the Cigar 101s, I have events. So Detroit Herb Society was pivotal to my growth.
Wonderful. I love the education piece because that is really big for the connoisseurs. What connoisseur actually means is it means an expert in a particular field or industry. And although we're not pursuing or we're not trying to be experts, we do believe in education. And we believe that as much as you can learn about the culture of whatever it is you're experiencing, the more you can appreciate it. So that's a big deal. And so I'm a part of Detroit Herf. And in the group, people are sharing their experience with cigars, and they're sharing what the cigar is, the structure of the cigar, the wrapper, the binder, what type of filler it is, and so there is that is a space where people get an opportunity to learn a lot. So I appreciate that, and also I know that you spoke in terms of entertainment and bringing people together and community. So, can you talk about some of the things you do in the community?
So there's a thing that we do towards Thanksgiving in November. We feed the homeless. We gave it a title, Warming Heart, Warm Nights, where we feed the homeless and we give them sleeping bags. We give them all the personal needs that they, need while they're sleeping out on the streets of Detroit. So we've been doing that. It will be our 5th year this year. So we're going to do something bigger and definitely something different. But that was one of my things that we had to give back because we are very fortunate to smoke a cigar.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It is not a inexpensive pastime. It's not an inexpensive pastime.
And that's one of the things that while you were speaking, I was thinking of the education piece. So there's this Tasty Tuesday. I tell the group, Taste Tuesday is about taste. It's getting a cigar that you wanted to experiment, that you wanted to try new, to expand your palate. So Taste Tuesday, get the cigar, taste it, get the notes, figure out what it is that you're tasting. It's the education piece. Hey, I'm smoking a Nicaraguan binder and filler wrapper Ecuadorian Habano. What are you taking?
So now we're kind of moving to the cigar culture in Detroit. So how would you describe the Detroit cigar culture?
Detroit cigar culture is, for me, culture goes back to your rituals, your beliefs. So cigar smoking is just basically relaxation. You know, there's plenty. There's about 7 cigar lounges downtown Detroit. Then most of the cigar lounges are in the outskirts of Detroit. One of my favorite cigar lounges is Churchill's in Grosse Pointe. So the culture of Detroit is growing.
Yes.
It's growing. There's a lot of
Changing a little bit too.
Yeah, it is change. Is change good or is it change for the?
I believe there's a space for everyone, but I am of the mindset of I'm more old school.
Mm-hmm.
So
Me too.
what I prefer is a cigar lounge where I can network, I can hear myself, I can enjoy a cigar in a peaceful, quiet environment. So I'm either, or I'm engaging with whomever I've gone with, we can hear each other, or I'm going by myself. And part of my cigar experience is meditation. You know, I'm meditating, I'm reflecting. So that's more of my culture with cigars. But I do see more of the cigar lounges bringing in DJs or turning it more into a club vibe. Again, to each their own. Right. I think that there is a space for that. That's just not my vibe.
The lounges are profitizing.
Yes.
Off of
Excellent. Yep.
Off of us bringing the masses to them.
Right.
You know, COVID did a number on us.
Yeah.
So the lounges are trying to recover, and they see it and like, oh, this is a trend.
This is a trend. That's what it is.
And it's not a trend.
No.
I am a true cigar smoker. I smoke at home. Where I tell all my friends I'm old school, like you said. I'm the good old boys.
Yeah.
Give me a good old thing of bourbon, a cigar, conversate. I can walk into a humid. Cigars are a conversation piece.
Yes.
They are a conversation piece. I have walked in with any and everybody, and I will ask them, "Hey, what are you looking for? What kind of cigar are you getting?" And we will be in a humidor 20 minutes just talking. So I love the cigar, the culture.
Yep. What are some common misconceptions?
That we are, for us women, that we all like sweet cigars.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Another one was when I started, one of my good friends was like, "You just starting a business just to get a man." No, sir. I can walk out my door and get a man. I don't need to. I ain't my friends, not to toot my own horn. I know more about cigars than a man.
Exactly, because you study.
Oh, yeah.
And that's you know, that it's not gender, it's not associated with a particular gender. It's associated, your education is associated with how much time you invested in learning.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a little bit of a chauvinistic
statement.
So.
It's some pivotal women
Yeah.
in the cigar industry right now.
Do you think that the cigar lounges have any obligation to building community?
They do. They do, but they don't. I see that it's just a money grab. It's
capitalism.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really, that's why I stay at home, because you go, like, ventilation is a must. If you're smoking a cigar and you see that it's smoky and your eyes are burning, you as a owner, you smoke cigars, you see, and especially if we coming to you and telling you, hey, invest in a ventilation, get better drinks, get better cigars. if they just, to build the community, if they just change up the way they do business. And I say that because you can have hosting nights where it can be have somebody come in and do tutorials. Just like how I do cigar 101s, they can do tutorials. They can have somebody come in and do. La Casa is good for having liquor companies come in and do tastings.
Yes.
If they get more of that instead of it being you having dress the sweat night. That's telling my age right there.
Right. That's all right. Because we're like, I'm older than you, so it's all good.
If they just invest more into their consumer.
Yes.
That would be, because we're bringing people to your shops. That's pivotal.
I agree. And I also agree with, it's important to build a cigar community through those educational opportunities and introducing new cigar enthusiasts to the culture of cigars, because it has a rich, deep culture. Cigars have been around for thousands of years. So I think they could build community that way. But I also think if you are absorbing resources out of a community, meaning where you are located, then you need to be doing some sort of give back to that community. Just like you are talking about the community involvement that you do when you go out and you feed the homeless. I think that every business in any community where they're absorbing the resources has some obligation to that community to give something back.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. I didn't, I wanted to bring us together. Kids have been out there. I took my son so he can see, that we are very fortunate to have a roof over our head. These people are sleeping out in the cold. But to play devil's advocate, not everybody wants to know what they're smoking.
Right.
But how can you be a cigar smoker? You just puffing.
Yeah.
You just puffing.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Right.
Or are you just in the environment to be seen?
Right.
I was told, people talk about me. I have my coffee in the morning and I have my cigar. But people are like, that looks so good. So it's an influence too. We're influencers as well. But I've heard that some people just don't want to know what they're smoking.
And that's okay. That's always okay. I mean, you're not forcing them.
Right.
And so even in these environments where we're saying that they ought to build a community, they can make these things available, but they're not forcing anything down anybody's. Right? It was perfectly okay. I've heard that it used to be etiquette to take the wrapper off your cigar so everybody would know what you were smoking. So I don't know that that's the etiquette anymore. But when I first started doing my studying, that was once the etiquette, to kind of keep so people wouldn't be judging you based on what you smoke. So I guess it's just part of it is preference, because one of the big things with cigar smoking, it is for your relaxation, it is for your edification and for your self-care. So you should be able to do it how you want to, right? It's just we're enthusiasts and we value the educational piece without having to force that down. Do you think more women, since you've been a cigar enthusiast for how many years now?
15.
15. So in the last 15 years, do you think that more women have become interested in cigars and become a greater part of the cigar community?
Absolutely. I was out at a tailgate and I saw Monique Henderson. She was at tailgate and I went and I was like, oh, cigars. And I bought a It was a CAO. It was the yellow, blue, and red band. And so from there, I started to see it blossom. And I was in cigar groups. I went to Vegas. I was in a group called Sex and a Cigar. So when I went to Vegas, they were there. It was doing Big Smoke. And one of the ladies was there. So women we're breaking that ceiling and getting into it. I know a lot of women. I educate my friends. I go buy my girlfriend's cigars. They like sweet cigars, but I try and teach them, hey, it's more than just sweet cigars. I got a lot of my friends on Doliva V Milanio. That's my favorite cigar. It's got an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. Oh my God. Education piece. The wrapper is a majority of the taste from the wrapper. So.
And shout out to Monique Anderson of Cigar. Yes, so she's also a cigar connoisseur enthusiast, and I believe she has a mobile cigar business as well. Another sister in the community. Do you have any advice for women that are curious about cigars?
My advice is to just do it. You educate yourself. Like, find out what your palate is, to me.
Absolutely.
If you like sweet, you can have sweet. But if you want, people have that misconception too that if it's dark, it's too strong. If it's a Maduro, it's too strong. That's not true. So just take a little time and educate yourself, or go and explore. Go to a lounge. They're going to go in the humidor with you, and they're going to ask you these questions. What do you like? What do you have a taste for? What do you want? And from there, you might be like, I don't know. And then it's like, okay, you have to know what you want. What do you have a feel for? Like, just say, I want something. I like coffee. Give me a cigar with some coffee.
They may even ask you, how much time do you have to smoke? So that's going to dictate how large the cigar is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a Robusto and under. A Robusto is about a 45-minute hour. Well, no, let's say about an hour and a half and under, depending on how you're puffing, how fast you're smoking.
Is there a cigar that you feel like every beginner should try?
Every beginner should try Toro Fuente 858.
Okay. What is it about that particular cigar that would make you recommend?
It's the true definition of a cigar to me. It has that true cigar tobacco taste. It's mild medium. It's not thick. It's about I want to say it might be a 50 or 45. And those are, so a cigar has a ring gauge. And the ring gauge is just the circumference and the length of a cigar. So you might see a cigar that says 6x4. So that's your length, and then there's your circumference. But that cigar is a good go-to when I'm out vendoring or showcasing cigars. I always have that cigar because some people be like, I just want something sweet. And to get people off the sweet cigar, that's my transition.
Okay. All right. What do you feel makes a cigar experience memorable? This is our last question, and then we're going to do kind of a rapid fire round.
Taste. That's what makes a cigar memorable to me. My first 2 puffs, I like a cigar that has coffee, nutty, earthy, espresso, chocolate. If it have any of those, I'm like, oh my God. If I do the oh my God, that's a cigar that I know I'm going to keep in rotation. And one of my cigars that I have in rotation is Last Call by AJ Fernandez. AJ Fernandez is a master blender. He blends a lot of cigars for a lot of different companies. And that cigar is a Maduro, but it's about the size of my forefinger. It just does it for me. It's a espresso, smooth, dark chocolate. It's got a little pepper because it's got Nicaraguan tobacco. I love a good cigar. If it don't have those notes that I mentioned earlier, I'll put it down.
All right. So let's get into a rapid fire round. So these are, your preferences. Maduro or Connecticut?
Maduro.
Morning cigar or evening cigar?
Morning. Now let me explain that. Because what is a morning cigar? Any cigar can be, it's all your preference. Cigar smoking is your preference. Most people think, oh, I'm going to start light and then, go light, medium, then go full. Me, I don't like a Connecticut. A Connecticut is too mild for me. So I'm going to start with maybe a Habano in the morning. It all depends on how I feel. But I do most of my smoking in the morning.
Okay. Coffee or bourbon pairing?
I love my coffee. I can't pair my coffee. Every cigar, to me, any cigar pairs well with coffee. I love to do a pairing with bourbon. So, for example, the cigar I'm smoking now is an H. Upmann Media Noche. Very good cigar. It has Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper. And it might have, I know it's got some Nicaraguan in there somewhere. I just don't know where it's at. So I Googled, educated myself on which bourbon. So I chose 2 wheated bourbons. And when I Googled it, it said that it paired perfectly with wheated. This cigar paired perfectly with the wheat bourbon because of the what is that? Oaky vanilla notes. It's another I can't caught me off guard, but it paired very well with the Green River. My ash. Here goes my ash. I normally don't keep my ash. People like to see how far the ash can get, but it fell.
All right.
It is.
One of the reasons that I knocked the ash off of mine as well is because I don't like the ash to fall on my clothes.
You will burn a hole in something.
Yes, I've burned a hole through many a thing. So yes, I understand. All right. One cigar that you always have in your humidor.
Right now, I have the AJ Fernandez Last Call because I'm short on time. That cigar is going to last me about a good 20, 30 minutes. So I keep that on deck. If I'm in the car and I'm running somewhere, I fire that up. If I'm just needing a quick fix, a quick nicotine fix, I'm going to smoke that.
Awesome. So I want to thank you for joining us today on the podcast. And I want you to tell the listeners where they can find the Detroit Herf Society, how they can get in contact with you, or if they want more information about Nicole.
So you can contact me if you would like to have Mahogany Cigar Emporium to bring cigars to you to have that unparalleled cigar experience. I can be reached at 313-585-4565. Or I'm on Instagram, Mahogany Cigar. That's my name on Facebook and Instagram. Detroit Herf Society is on Facebook up under Detroit Herf Society and Instagram.
Okay. Upcoming events. I know you've mentioned the 313 Day or any other events that you have coming up.
Our next event, we're planning to do something in the summer, like July. But we don't do a lot of events, but to one of my good sisters, friend, Marissa, has Puffing with My Pearls. She's having a Puffing all week, and that is in June.
Shout out to Marissa, another wonderful lady in the cigar industry here in Detroit.
Yes, it's June 11th, I believe, through the 14th. That starts on a Thursday, and it's from Thursday to Sunday. Those are those events. And we also, another thing, when cigar smoking, it's about relaxation. I try and think of things to do different with Detroit Herf Society. So we always do fishing. You can do fishing, you can go golfing. So every free fishing weekend in June, it's the first weekend in June, the state of Michigan offers free fishing where you don't have to get a license. So I always put together a fishing herd. We go down in Wyandotte and we just fish. We get our reels, we have our cigars, our drinks, and it's just about relaxation. The camaraderie that comes with the cigar culture.
Absolutely.
And it's free. Just come out and relax on the pier, off the water. The men be out there that teaches women, if you don't know how to fish, the men don't have a problem with showing you how to cast your reel. And then there's the warming hearts, warming nights. That's very near and dear to my heart. I partner with Ezekiel Mays of Coach Series Cigars. He have a cigar mobile where he does the same thing as Mahogany. So I've paired up with him and other brothers of the leaf. So we do that. It's near and dear to my heart. We've done it so many times. I cook a big stock pot of chicken and noodles. Them people love it. They be like, "Oh, there's a lady with the chicken and noodles. You got some, girl?" So I make sure that I have the chicken and noodles. And those are just the events. The summer is coming. Michigan weather doesn't allow us to really smoke outside. But once the summer hit, the warmer weathers, we are outside. We're outside.
Absolutely. So we want to thank you, enthusiasts, for listening in to the podcast. Again, this is LaShonda with the Connoisseurs, here with Nicole Phillips of the Detroit Herf Society and Mahogany Cigar Lounge. You can find the Connoisseurs on both Facebook and Instagram. We're on Facebook at The Connoisseurs. We're on Instagram at _the_connoisseurs. And thank you. Good night. Sister. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Connoisseurs Podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We hope to see you next time.